Hey guys, we are back in one of my favorite places on the planet, La Crosse, Wisconsin. And we're here for the 2018 KBF Midwest Open. And I'm hooking up with my good buddy, Jeremiah Burrish. And we are going out and following him for a part of the day and see how he does, what his strategy is, what his mindset is in fishing an event with a guaranteed $10,000 payout. And then we're gonna go and try to find some of the other anglers and do the same thing. We got some of the top sticks in the Kayak Bass Fishing Tournament Series, and I'm excited to see how those guys do in this amazing fishery.
So the spot I'm going to, I kind of found a few weeks ago, and it was awesome. It was like guerrilla warfare out there. I mean, you're ducking trees and you're getting way up in there and you're casting. It was like every time you'd call it, you know, there's gonna be one right under that mat. And sure enough, you'd throw a frog in there, it'd hit. We're gonna hope they're still there today. Water levels kind of stayed the same and get back at them.
You know, I actually grew up pretty much on the Mississippi River, but on the other end of it, down by Natchez, Mississippi, where I'm from in Louisiana. You know, when you think Mississippi River, where I'm from, you think these big barges. If you look at how much product is being moved on one of those big barges, it's unbelievable how much of an economic impact this river has. Way before interstate systems and air cargo and things like that, that's how stuff got places. And still to this day, that's how they move a lot of heavy stuff. Oh, there he is. Fish on. Good fish. Look at this guy right here. And it's a smallmouth on top of that, which makes it even more fun. Look at that dude. That's why he missed it the first time, is he's got a bad eye on one side. He's missing an eye. So I had to catch him on the good eye side over here. See, on the good eye side, and that's the bad eye side. I'm just kidding. Fish have a lateral line, so even when they can't see, they can pretty much sense the lure. A lot like Daredevil, who was blind, can kind of sense the things that are around him and turn it on. But that's a chunky little dude right there. Mississippi River, chunky smallmouth, little brown bombers. With all this wind, we're gonna push our way back into what the Mississippi River is famous for here in La Crosse, into some of these backwaters and find some more isolated current seams and see if we can't pick up some fish.
So when I frog fish, I do a couple of different things. Kind of just depends on the structure that I'm fishing. But what I'm doing right now is when I get it out into that duckweed and stuff, I'm just hopping it across, kind of at a fast pace to get their attention and then stopping it. It's really a reaction bite, but sometimes they chase it, kind of wonder what it is, and as soon as you stop it, they just destroy it. Got him. Not a big one, but he just blew it up. Look at that, frog fishing at its finest. Look at that, I love that. I'm gonna at least measure him. He's not big, but might be a little upgrade anyway, once we get to that point. Another 13.5. Well, there he goes. Yeah, I got the picture. I got a few. I better double check, but I think I did. Yep, I got the picture. The frog has been good. There just isn't a more fun way to fish than that.
One of my favorite things about Jeremiah is he's fun to fish with. And the reason that he's fun to fish with is he's, we'll call it easily impressioned. He's gullible. Oh, I'm just kidding.
Did you actually have a bite right there? You're hilarious.
Of course I wasn't fishing with him and impeding his ability to compete in the contest. Come on, man. Y'all know me better than that.
What the, oh my God. Dude, come on. Not funny.
It was kind of funny.
It's kind of funny, but it's not that funny. Trying to win 10 G's, man.
He thought I just hooked a giant right in front of him. You know, not only did anglers have to face the wind, but in many cases the current proved to be challenging and in some cases a little sketchy. But I will tell you this, the anglers that faced that current, the anglers that put in the work to get to the places where the fish were holding, definitely proved that that strategy paid off. up in that thick stuff. He's not as big as I thought he was, but he absolutely annihilated that horny toad. So let me get out of this salad and yeah, little guy, he flat annihilated that frog. These fish up here are square. Even when they're small, they're little chunks. But check this out. I wanted to actually show you guys this, so it kind of worked out. A lot of times when they blow up, the frog will go up the line. But I started using this new hook for frog fishing. It's not a new hook. It's new to me using it for frog fishing. Normally I use the screw lock type that are designed specifically for horny toads and things like that. But what's cool about this hook is when they blow up and they rip the screw lock out of the nose, in the past I've always saved the horny toad and then I turn it into a jig trailer, which I still do. But when I use this little plastic insert on this Mustad impact grip hook, I can stick it back in the nose and it doesn't tear the nose up. This actually makes the baits last longer so that it's a little bit longer before you have to rebait them, and you end up saving a lot more money in the long run. So that little impact plastic hook from Mustad is a huge money saver when it comes to prolonging the life of your plastics.
I don't think the fish are in here. This water is not really moving like it was in the other spots where I was getting bites. It's kind of a little stagnant area, so no fresh water is coming in. So we're gonna give it a couple more casts in here, but I'm not gonna waste a lot of time. Because clearly there's no water moving. I don't think the fish are in the spots where there's no water moving.
I made a run, man, back towards the boat launch that I put in at.
Do you plan on leaving there and going somewhere else, or are you going to be in that area?
I'm going to be right here in this area. This is where I caught fish yesterday. Yeah, this is where I'm going to stay around this area.
All right, I'll find you. We're on our way.
Okay, man.
Yeah, he's a ways away now.
It's all good. We're going to have to leave and go find another angler here in a bit.
Yeah, that's fine.
Especially since you're stinking it up.
Dude.
How many fish do you have?
4.
Oh, you got 4? That's good.
3 of them are small, though.
The thing about these events, you can't win it on day 1, but you can lose it. Jay Wallen's like smoking it.
It's all about eliminating water when you're fishing like this. There's a little area right here to the right I want to try, see if maybe something's up in there, getting close to last cast. So I move closer to the ramp, right off the main river. There's this little boat slip here that's pretty protected. I've been pretty fortunate, got some fish this morning. Just keepers, nothing impressive. I'm about 75 inches total. I've been fishing the backwaters of the river all day with a frog. When they miss the frog, I'd follow up with a paddle tail and usually catch them. See if I can drop this power pole here. Kind of work this little hole right here pretty good. You talk about a handy tool, especially in conditions like this. It's been super windy. The wind's gusting up to 20 miles an hour. And tough fishing in a kayak if you don't have something to help you out. Dropping an anchor up and down just isn't efficient in some areas, especially when you got an area a lot of grass like it is here. If anybody's wondering what it's like fishing in the Shreveport area for the national championship, come to La Crosse, Wisconsin. Sounds kind of odd, but it's pretty close to the same. A lot of grass, a lot of lily pads.
You know what truly defines an angler is either what happens after they lose or what happens after they win. And one of the things I've been most impressed about with Dwayne Taft is that he won the biggest show in kayak fishing. He won the Kayak Bass Fishing National Championship. He's already qualified to fish again next year as the past champion, but he's out there competing, mixing it up, putting his name on the leaderboard. He's fishing different waters. He's challenging himself. You define a true champion by not only how they respond when they get knocked down, but how they act once they're on top. And Dwayne is out there doing it right. All right, so we're gonna take a look at the leaderboard to see who's doing what. All right, Jay Wallen, the 2016 Kayak Bass Fishing Angler of the Year is currently sitting in first place with 85 3/4 inches. Cody Milton sitting in second place with 82 3/4 inches. Eric Siddiqui sitting in third place with 76 1/2 inches. Now, Eric won the event here for the trail back in May, so I'm sure he's not done upgrading. But to finish out the top 5, you got Josh Stewart at 74 1/4, who finished second in the KBF National Championship, and Mel Ash from Missouri, one of the 10 finalists from last year, who actually has 72 1/2 inches. So right now, the top 5 guys are all members of the KBF 10, which just shows that these guys are fishing consistent no matter where they go, and that's why they end up in the 10 on Bienville Plantation year after year. One thing that happens every year as the season starts to wind down is the top anglers out there are jockeying for position, and those guys that are right on the bubble, that are within striking distance of making it into the top 10, are really grinding hard to make it into that event. Each year we take the top 10 anglers, take them down to Bienville Plantation, a world-class bass fishery, take care of all their expenses, feed them amazing meals, and let them fish for 2 days to crown the champion, and the #1 angler takes home $10,000. So it's no surprise that with only 2 events left to go in the season, that a lot of the top sticks from around the country, former national champions, anglers of the year, and guys that are sitting in that top 20 had to make the trek to La Crosse to hold their position.
The main reason I travel 12 hours to come here is to make it back to the 10. It's a really cool experience. You have 10 guys in the past champions, so you have 11 people staying under one roof, you know, competing for $10,000. It's a really cool place, and it's a great experience. When I first heard about like the kayak community, like everyone being friends, like everyone sharing spots, sharing baits, I was like, that's crazy. Usually there's a lot of fights when you get into boat tournaments and stuff. I don't really ever see it in kayak tournaments. Like, I mean, one of my roommates on the road, we do a 5% rule. He gave me this bait last night because I'd lost my other one the day before on Pike. And he was like, you know, didn't charge me anything. He was just like, yeah, give me 5% if you win. It's not like tournament bass fishing. It's completely different. I mean, people are super nice. It's made me a little more laid back and just kind of roll with the punches a little more. Yesterday, they were most grouped up on that point up there, and then sometimes the boat pulls in, you know, 50 yards in front of you. Starts dropping bobbers out in the pads. It's all right, though. He's got a pretty dog, I'll give him that.
All right, guys, so 2018 Kayak Bass Fishing National Champion, this is Dwayne Taft, is motoring in, and we checked the leaderboard. It's the end of day 1. Dwayne is making sure he's got time to get back to the check-in, get his fish loaded, currently sitting in 13th. I don't know how that's gonna change after other people load their fish. So we'll find out tomorrow if that 13's lucky or unlucky. All right, good morning, everybody. We are here at the start of day 2 for the 2018 Kayak Bass Fishing Midwest Open from La Crosse, Wisconsin, and I am at the boat ramp where both the #1 guy and the #2 guy are getting their gear together and heading out to fight this wind. Let's check out Mr. Jim Davis. So what Jim's doing right here is he is placing his identifier into Tourney Tag. Tourney Tag is a company that makes a real cool product so that you can secure your identifier. As you can tell with this wind out here right now, if you didn't have a way of securing it and you didn't hold on to it, this thing could fly away and then your day might be over if you don't have a backup. But here's what this means. In catch, photo, release tournaments, what we do is we give these guys a code the night before so we know that they couldn't have caught the fish prior to that, and that's how we maintain the integrity of catch, photo, release tournaments. The unique identifier is a critical component to the catch, photo, release concept. What we're gonna do right now is go down and check out the day 1 leader, Mr. Corey Sherman from Iowa, and see how he's going. All right, so here he is, Mr. Corey Sherman from Iowa. Ironically enough, leading day 1, and leading day 1 by quite a bit, man.
Yeah.
Now, and let me ask you a question. Psychologically, are you in a better place with the lead, or are you sweating it more? Are you going to go out there and lay the smack down is what I'm asking you?
I'm going to try.
He's going to try.
Yeah.
I mean, you're something like 7 inches up. That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot to overcome. So all you got to do is be consistent. Everybody else has got to catch you You just got to not trip, fall, land on your face.
No pressure.
And no pressure.
Yeah.
No pressure whatsoever. One thing that happens when you put the top anglers inside a pressure cooker is they genuinely gel a little bit. Joshua Stewart won the 2018 KBF Open, the last one that we had in Bentonville, Arkansas. So it was no surprise that on day 2, when the day 1 leader was getting ready, the day 1 number 2 was getting ready to head out, Josh Stewart shows up to fish the same area. You know what? These top anglers always seem to be able to figure out where the fish are, how to catch them, what they're biting, and put them on the leaderboard.
Hopefully this wind dies down. All right, wish me luck.
You know, one of the things that kayaks are most susceptible to, or one of the things that's most frustrating, is wind. Most anglers that have been doing it for a while have a number of different ways, from anchoring systems to anchor trolleys to power poles, to overcome it. But one thing I can tell you for sure, the anglers are going to be dealing with some definite tough conditions when it comes to wind. One of my favorite things about tournament day is driving around, bumping into anglers, kind of gauging their demeanor, and just being amongst them with that nervous energy, that anxious anticipation. You can just feel the electricity in the air, and you can feel the angst at the same time. So it's awesome to be there and kind of be part of that. And sometimes it's even intoxicating to be surrounded by that level of adrenaline, that level of anxiety of what's yet to happen. And it's even more fun to watch it unfold and to watch the pieces move around throughout the course of the day. All right, guys, so we just ran into Joshua Booth from Joplin, Missouri, and he was actually walking around with his camera. What were you doing, Josh?
Trying to get some signal so I can upload some photos.
And why are you trying to upload photos right in the middle of the day like this?
I got a couple big ones that might get me some money. So.
In the KBF Big Bass Brawl, so are you catching them?
Yeah, I'm on them hard.
Do you want to tell everybody how you're catching them?
No.
Hey, listen, he's an angler. I wouldn't tell y'all either. But man, jump back in the kayak, get back out there and put some fish on the board. All right, guys, so one of the things we're doing right now is trying to find anglers that are either A, moving position, looking for new waters to stay in the competition, or B, who feel like they're out of day 1 and maybe still think that they've got a shot at the Big Bass Brawl. One of those guys is Ben Badness from, he's actually from Wisconsin. So Ben, why do you think you're out of it on day 1?
I didn't catch anything yesterday.
That'll do it. But you're still here. You're still fishing. And what is it that you're fishing for?
Oh, I'm fishing for big bass.
So it's one of the reasons that we came up with the Big Bass Brawl concept. So if you've traveled all the way to the tournament, if you've booked your hotel room, you know, if you've made the investment, if you got the time off work, you still got something to strive for.
Absolutely. I still do enjoy catching fish. I mean,
yeah.
This is a beautiful area.
We all do. Even though you're in a tournament and you might be out of the money, you're still fishing.
Clock is ticking. Gotta go, gotta go.
So when it comes to kayak fishing tournaments, one thing that we do is we allow anglers to recover, relaunch, and recover and relaunch as many times as they want. What's known in the bass boat world is running and gunning. And our version of that in kayak fishing is to load your kayak up, drive to another spot. Now, as a strategic move, it can prove to be invaluable if done correctly, or it can prove to be a waste of time as you spend more time driving than you do fishing. So when it comes to developing a successful strategy, part of it's pre-fishing, part of it's time management, but all of it is being in the right place at the right time, and running and gunning can sometimes make that happen, and other times you just burn a lot of gas. You know, the whole purpose of running these tournaments is to have fun and to deepen the family feel that we already experience in the sport of kayak fishing. So as often as I can, I get the family to be involved in what we're doing. So on day 2, rather than get out there and interfere with these guys who are really intently focused on trying to win the event, better their position, qualify for the national championship, win hourly big bass, by poking a camera in their face, I decided to spend it with the family.
My name is Colton Hammonds. I am the youngest out of the 3 kids that my mother has birthed. There is Morgan, the oldest, Wyatt, the second oldest, and then I am the youngest.
So buddy, you're gonna catch probably some largemouth, maybe some smallmouth, but you're gonna catch pike today, okay?
Okay.
And Pike is not one of my favorite fish to catch.
I've learned that.
Yeah, you've heard, huh? They are kind of, I consider them like the alligator of Wisconsin because they have some big old sharp teeth. They're not going to jump out the boat and get you, but just when you hook one, just let Chad take care of it. He's going to tell you to grab it behind the head and take the hook out and manhandle it, but I don't know about all that.
You're going to grab it behind the head and manhandle it.
So just be careful.
I will.
Okay.
Got it.
You got 10 fingers. We won't lose any of them to a pike. Okay.
I'm really aiming for a largemouth. From what I've heard about pike, they're very dangerous. My mom is terrified of pike because of how sharp their teeth are. And she said that one time she was fishing, she caught a pike. She reeled in, and then she almost stuck her hand in there. And then she saw the teeth, and all those teeth could easily cut you, and she is very terrified of them now. She also said if it doesn't look like a bass, then it's probably a pike, and don't try to whip it. Chad said that he'd teach me how to manhandle it, which he said grab it by the back of the head, and I'm assuming that there's a nerve there, which doesn't allow it to bite, so then he just sticks his hand in there and gets his hook out. At least that's my theory. I don't want to catch a whole buttload of pike.
Did you see that? I think it's a little northern, so we're gonna stop going after him, but followed it right up to the boat twice in a row. Sharp teeth, stay away from those. I like catching them, and they're delicious to eat, but not fun to catch when you're bass fishing in a tournament. They cut up your frogs really bad, so then they don't float anymore. They bite you off completely. So a $10 frog down the drain, gone.
The past few days, I've caught several pike where you can tell a bigger pike's tried to eat them. The things are crazy, man, and they'll tear you up too. They'll tear you up. I got bit pretty good here. Had a went through a buzzbait through my thumb. I don't like the pike, but they're pretty cool little fish. Not bad.
When it comes to teaching kids to fish, there is no cookie cutter formula. Each one's different, each one's unique, and you have to take a unique approach. They come in all different shapes, sizes, formulas, flavors, tastes, likes and dislikes. And one of the things that Colton likes is he likes being outside, but what he doesn't like about outside is outside things.
Oh, there's a fish right here.
Nice.
But my thing is stuck with all this stuff.
Yeah, just reel it in and keep fishing it.
I can't. Ugh.
Colton doesn't listen to anything. So there is no thing you can do other than make it a game, continue to take him out, don't expect to be out there too long. Now, Colton, I think, was scared of catching a pike, so he didn't put a lot of effort into it. Wyatt, on the other hand, loves to get out there and mix it up, doesn't mind getting dirty, doesn't mind getting sweaty, doesn't mind getting grimy, and will do work. So Colton has got about a 45-minute to 2-hour attention span, depending on how many fish he's catching. Wyatt, on the other hand, could go from before daylight to after dark and never complain one time.
Oh, got him.
Oh, oh, nice. Yeah, good job, Wyatt. Don't reel all the way to the tip like that. There you go. Let some line out and bring it to your hand. There you go, buddy. So let's come over here and take a look at this thing. I'm a jigger. Nice. I hate to say this, that is a good fish, but he's got to get the dink drop.
All right.
Go ahead and get that thing back in there with your dink drop. You were buzzing this thing across the top. I heard it blow up. Did it miss it once?
It missed it once. I dropped the bait.
What was cool about it is we actually talked about that. He reeled it across the top. I heard it blow up. I looked back and then I saw him drop his rod tip, and then I saw him set the hook and the fish jumped, and so you did everything perfect.
I did it.
Fish blew up, missed it, right?
Yep.
You dropped the rod tip, waited till you saw the line moving, crossed his eyes. All right, Wyatt, so far you're the champion of the day. You took home the title.
Well, I didn't really win the day.
Yeah, you did. You won the brother shootout. But I caught one fish. He caught one fish. There's a whole bunch of people that caught him better. Let's go find out who caught him the best and is taking home the title of the 2018 KBF Midwest Open champion. One of the major reasons that we choose to come to La Crosse for our bigger kayak fishing events is the amount of space, the number of launch sites, and just the expansive backwaters for anglers to spread out and kind of have water to themselves.
There's so much water. There's backwaters for miles and miles and miles. It's the Mississippi River, the main channel, and then all those sloughs and multiple rivers flowing into the Mississippi River. It's scenic, it's gorgeous. You have the bluffs in the background overlooking the Mississippi River. It really is truly a special place, and it's an incredible fishery.
And that's why we've chosen it as the host city for the 2019 Kayak Bass Fishing Trail Series Championship and Challenge Series Championship. So it's going to be interesting to see if the smallmouth bite or the largemouth bite is the one that takes home the crown. In first place, taking home this trophy, and since both of these guys are in bonus bucks, whoever wins is taking home $10,000 with 169¼ inches. Your 2018 KBF Midwest Open champion from La Crosse on the Mississippi River, Mr. Jay Wallen. Congratulations. There you go, brother. So Jay's taking home the hardware, making a big leap on the Angler of the Year standings, pretty much securing his position in another trip to the 10 and taking home that check for $10,000. So one more round of applause. All right, so Cody, another event where you're in the top 10, but not just the top 10, the top what?
Top 2.
The top 2.
Yep.
So for the second Open in a row, this guy has been that close. So Jay Wallen actually won this event and finished second on Sandy Cooper. So he came here and got some redemption. Tell me how it feels to come close. Obviously it's good to finish in the money and it's good for Angler of the Year points, but talk to me about finishing second in 2 events in a row. Does it sting, man?
A little bit. I was pretty hurting after the grand tournament. I think I came up with the same mentality as Jay. I think Jay just kind of had a little more of an edge than I did, maybe.
A little better fish area.
Yeah, a little better area.
It's always about, it's a game of inches. You know what I mean? You know, they say in life every inch counts, but in kayak bass fishing, every quarter inch counts. Oh, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Golly, man, what did you do? What did you do to catch them?
So pretty much, I caught everything on a buzzbait. I had a terrible practice, and I went to an area I'd found in May at the trail, and there was a bunch of spawners in there then, and it was all matted over, so.
So anyway, guys, listen, this guy right here is always a threat no matter where he goes. Mr. Cody Milton from Arkansas. Cody, thanks for showing up again, brother. We'll see you at the next one. All right, Jay, so here's the deal. This piece of hardware right here evaded you by that much.
So close.
In Sandy Cooper, like that much. And based on watching your footage back after you turned your cards in, we put one of the fish you caught in there, but dude, you actually had the fish to win it at that event. I don't get to compete in this series, but I'm a competitor in life, and man, I can just tell you that finishing second just burns.
Stings, man.
Just stings, man. You'd almost rather finish 30th, and I know that sounds crazy to some people, but it ain't about the money, because he's going to spend that and it's going to be gone. It's about the title. It's about the hardware. This guy's definitely going to be a threat at the national championship. Actually, he's a threat anytime his name shows up on the leaderboard. Your 2018 KBF Midwest Open champion out of La Crosse, Wisconsin on the Mississippi River, Mr. Jay Wallen from Lexington, Kentucky. All right, guys, so here's the deal. You just got to see 2 of the top anglers in the country in Mr. Cody Milton from Arkansas and Jay Wallen from Lexington, Kentucky. There's an old saying that 10% of the fishermen catching 90% of the fish, and it's because they do the little things. They sweat the small stuff, or they just fish harder than the average person. They grind, they don't give up, they don't stop to eat, they just have a different mindset, that killer instinct and that fire in the belly and that thing that just drives them. So if you want to be that guy or that gal, head over to kayakbassfishing.com, click on the events tab, find a KBF event near you. If you don't feel like your skill set's up to the level of competing in a live tournament, try the Challenge Series out. More importantly, click on that Partners tab, find one of the local clubs. Get in with those guys. They'll help you with gear selection, they'll save you money, They'll help you with demoing boats that maybe a local dealer doesn't have, and they'll keep you from making the same mistakes that a lot of other guys made along the way. So I'm a firm believer that you should support your local club, support your local trail, do the best you can to get out there and be an ambassador for the sport. And then when you're ready to tangle with these guys, check out the KBF event schedule, head out and see if you can't take home one of these checks. I'm Chad Hoover with Kayak Bass Fishing. We'll see you next time. Don't forget to smash that thumbs up button. Leave a comment below and tell us if there's anything else you'd like to see us cover on the channel. Until next time, you know, keep swinging, keep grinding, keep getting that rod bent.